incomes are getting vaccinated 10 times faster than those with the lowest income.
President Buhari speaks at Paris Peace Forum, says bureaucracy on COVID-19 vaccine supplies must be tackled.
Investment in Nigeria will give you an ability to be in West Africa and at the same time in Central Africa.
Nigeria showcases potential might as safe investment destination. Plus, Anambra State Governor-elect receives certificate of return. Hello, this is NTA Network News, reaching you live in Abuja. I am Jumma Yusuf. Adiola Kami Akere joins us from Lagos, and Sadia Umar Digi from our Sokoto studios. Thanks so much for joining us. President Muhammadu Buhari says if vaccination is the only way to end the COVID-19 pandemic, a more coordinated approach must be adopted by all stakeholders towards bridging the vaccine supply gap in Africa. He said licensing agreements must also be reached for the transfer of intellectual property and technology to support the production of vaccines on the continent. This was while addressing the opening session of the Paris Peace Forum, now underway in the French capital. State House correspondent Adam Sambo has reports.
Convened by the French leader Emmanuel Macron, the Paris Peace Forum, fourth in the series, is devoted to the challenges of better global governance after COVID-19. Participants, including the U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris, will strategize towards reducing global divides in a world still under the threat of the pandemic.
Let us not be burdened by what has been. Let us focus on what can be. And let us realize a better future together.
We must also build new coalitions for regional conflict to build peace. I'm sure you've understood we've done a lot over the past year, but a lot remains to be done.
Delivering a keynote address at the event, President Muhammadu Buhari made it clear that the state of vaccine delivery across the world leaves much to be desired, especially as it affects the African continent. He said while some countries are giving booster third doses for their citizens, millions, especially in developing countries, are yet to receive a single dose.
As of 4th November 2021, 91.3 doses of vaccine had been given for every 100 persons across the world. On the same date, however, only 14.7 doses of vaccine per 100 persons has been administered in Africa, a clear case of lopsidedness. Countries with the highest incomes are getting vaccinated 10 times faster than those with the lowest income. This massive gap between vaccine requirements in Africa and vaccine availability is undermining the fight against coronavirus pandemic in the continent.
The president expressed the conviction that even if Africa were to receive the 600 million doses of vaccines under the COVAX arrangement by the end of this year, there will still be a considerable shortfall with the continent's 1.3 billion people. And with supply shortages and export ban, the planned COVAX deliveries to Africa have now been cut by 25%.
This is a major setback for Africa, where it is estimated that coronavirus vaccine deliveries have to increase from around 20 million doses a month to an average of 150 million doses a month if the target of fully vaccinating 70% of its population by September 2022 is to be achieved. So what needs to be done to plug the gap? Export restrictions that encourage needless hoarding of vaccines need to be lifted. There is a clear need for the expansion of vaccine production capacity in Africa.
Virtually speaking for Africa, President Muhammadu Buhari described as welcoming pledges by industrialized countries to share vaccines, saying, however, that such pledges, especially to developing countries, must be fulfilled and in a timely manner. From Paris, France, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Still in Paris, President Muhammadu Buhari has described as heartwarming the offer by the United Arab Emirates to partner with Nigeria in developing some of its critical sectors. President Muhammadu Buhari stated this when he granted audience to the Minister of State Foreign Affairs of the UAE, Sheikh Shakbot and Nahan, on the sidelines of the ongoing Paris Peace Forum. Anthony Fossen has details.
Muhammadu Buhari, while expressing delight with the partnership, told the Emirati Minister of State Foreign Affairs that the areas the partnership will cover are critical to Nigeria. They include renewable energy, agriculture, infrastructure, logistics, and the provision of vaccines to further control the COVID-19 pandemic in Nigeria. The president described Nigerians, wherever they are, as highly enterprising and urged them to exhibit positive image about themselves and the country. He encouraged them to subject themselves to the laws of their host countries. Sheikh Shabuk spoke glowingly about President Muhammadu Buhari, saying in the United Arab Emirates, the Nigerian leader is highly respected, especially his leadership style. On the proposed partnership with Nigeria, Sheikh Shabuk said it will be a win-win situation for both countries. He equally commended the Nigerian government over the robust manner it is tackling violent extremism.
We have also discussed the way forward for our relationship and the optimism and hope it will bring to both of us. We are extremely optimistic and we're extremely hopeful in the UAE for what the future has for our relationship. It's a brotherly relationship, it's a family relationship, and it's a strategic relationship.
It was a very good meeting, and of course, as the Minister has said, they outlined areas of increased cooperation with Nigeria. As you know, on December the 3rd, the United Arab Emirates is hosting an expo, and December 3rd will be the Nigeria Day. So Mr. President will be there for this expo, which will be an opportunity for Nigeria to showcase Nigeria and attract global investors into the country. So they're giving us this platform. And, they talked about cooperation in the area of COVID response and the vaccines that they have available should Nigeria need it. And, also they touched on, the Nigerians who are working also in the United Arab Emirates, and that they are very welcoming. They informed us of Nigerians, professionals also who are there.
In Paris, France, Anthony Fossen, NTA News.
To other news now, President Muhammadu Buhari has described the death of South Africa's last white president, late Frederick Willem de Klerk, the end of an era because of its tremendous impact on history and the cause of justice. In a statement, President Buhari said late de Klerk was a remarkable moral force for change who will be celebrated for years beyond his death, especially his role in ending the obnoxious apartheid system of racial segregation and discrimination in South Africa. President Buhari noted that the late South African leader had put humanity and justice before personal political ambition by dismantling the abhorrent apartheid system. The late de Klerk, who won a joint Nobel Prize for Peace in 1993 alongside Nelson Mandela, the president said will not be forgotten for his immense and immeasurable contributions to world peace, human rights and justice. The attention of the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice has been drawn to a confession of an alleged suspect during interrogation linking his involvement to the recent invasion of the residence of the Justice of the Supreme Court, Mary Peter Odili. A statement by the Special Assistant on Media and Public Relations Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Dr. Umar Jibril Gwandu, describes the confessional statement as untrue. He stated that with all the competent high-level professionals and capable human resources available at the disposal of the Attorney General of the Federation, it only takes the imagination of the evil minds to assume or think that the Justice Minister will descend so low to engage in a quack or fake police officer to serve as his consultant. The alleged suspect is therefore being asked to present documents of engagements where he worked as a consultant to the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice. Meanwhile, investigation to unravel the circumstances and personalities behind the invasion is ongoing. Let's talk electoral matters. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has presented certificates of return to the Anambra State Governor-elect, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, and the Deputy Dr. Oyeka Chukwu Ibezim. The event, which took place at INEC office in Oka, was witnessed by many Abuja chieftains amidst other party supporters. Ungozi Okafo reports.
The ceremony is in compliance with Section 75 of Electoral Act 2010, signifying that they won the just concluded 2021 Guba election. Supervising National Commissioner for Anambra State, Festus Okoye, on behalf of INEC chairman, urged the incoming governor to strive to deliver.
As you know, the tenure of the incumbent governor of Anambra State will expire on 17th day of March 2022. The implication is that the governor and deputy governor-elect will not assume office immediately.
Professor Chukwuma Soludo, while pledging to live up to what is expected of him, and with full of appreciations, thanked especially President Muhammadu Buhari for his unalloyed support by providing a level playing ground for a successful election in Anambra State.
What we are assuring the Anambra as Abuja faithfuls is that Soludo's administration will definitely be better than that of His Excellency Dr. Willie Obiano.
By this, it now behoves on Professor Soludo to bring his professional training to bear to take Anambra State to the desired level. In Oka, Ngozi Okafo, NTA News.
Let's return to Paris for a bit as Minister of Communications and Digital Economy Issa Ali Fantami says the federal government is winning the war against cybercrimes in Nigeria. The minister was emphatic about the position, said President Buhari has strengthened all anti-graft agencies to enable them tackle the menace. Issa Ali Fantami stated this at the Nigeria International Partnership Forum in Paris, France. Anthony Fossen has the details.
4.2 seconds every day, a new malware is released globally.
Giving a comprehensive narration on how Nigeria is tackling this modern-day criminal activity, the minister said President Muhammadu Buhari is committed to ensuring that Nigeria is not a haven for fraudsters, so that investors can feel safe because of the country's strategic location.
Investment in Nigeria will give you an ability to be in West Africa and at the same time in Central Africa. And it will give you an ability to dominate West Africa on one hand and Central Africa on the other.
He explained that the National Identification Number exercise was carefully thought out.
The primary responsibility of government is security and safety of its citizens. It is because of this that President Muhammadu Buhari is very passionate about that, and he has been pushing to ensure that we establish the foundation of our economy and the foundation of our security on the national identification number, so that the identity of our citizens and legal residents will be known.
Minister of State for Petroleum Timipre Silva told the forum that Nigeria, as a major player in the global oil and gas production table, is indeed an investor's haven.
It's a brand new opportunity, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We have a national goal of increasing our oil production by about 4 million barrels from where we are, which is about 2 million barrels. Our target is to increase our production to about 4 million barrels. So you can see that there is a lot of headroom for growth. There is no better time to enter the oil and and gas investment environment than now. You will ask, why are we investing in the oil and gas sector when the global community is moving to renewable? But we all agree that oil and gas will be with us for a long time to come. All the outlooks, all the projections tell us that oil and gas will still be part of the global energy mix.
The agriculture minister on his part reeled out agricultural endowment Nigeria is blessed with.
Our top traded commodities in the year 2020: sesame seeds, good fermented Nigerian cocoa beans, superior quality raw cocoa beans, natural cocoa butter, cashew nut shell and cashew nut and shell, ginger, other frozen shrimps and prawns, and the Nigerian cattle link, grossing over 270 billion naira in the year 2020.
On the whole, they all gave the assurances that the federal government has put in place all necessary mechanisms to protect investors and their investments in Nigeria. In Paris, France, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
We'll take a break now. More reports when we return. Don't go away.
There will be unlimited joy in over 5,000 homes every day this season in the Glow Joy Unlimited Extravaganza. 5 cars every month, 100 generators, TVs, and fridges every week. 5,000 free airtime and data winners every day. Simply recharge up to 500 naira during the week to qualify. Dial *611# now to enter the Glow Joy Unlimited Extravaganza.
I dey look for pension fund administrator. We soft, make sense, we care for me. Shy. No be the type when story go enter the matter when it's time to deliver. Oh no, 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 no. You bring the show, them no go stress you. Call them, then they accessible. Yes, customer care where they on point. No go regret when you try, of course. Profitable investment, everything we just a blend. If you want it good for you, my guy, make you choose premium pension today. Make that switch to premium pension. Premium pension. Make that switch to premium pension.
Join over 700,000 satisfied members and enjoy the premium experience at our offices across the 36 states in Nigeria, including the FCT. Call 094615-700-704 to make the switch today. Premium pension. Active today, premium tomorrow.
Is here at last. The federal government, in collaboration with states, local governments, and councils through Argon, with the Nigerian stakeholders, has rolled out the National Anti-Multiple Taxation Scheme (NAMTAX) and National Transit Insurance Scheme (NATIS), using National Joint Compliance Monitoring and Enforcement Team to put an end to all illegal roadblocks, illegal taxation, illegal levies, harassment, assault, molestations, killings on the road, thereby reducing the prices of goods and services. Oh yes, farmers, transporters, manufacturers, dealers, distributors, miners, and traders, etc., can now access safety, security, surveillance, and emergency rescue and move freely on Nigerian roads. Beneficiaries are required to buy safety, security, and emergency rescue sticker once a year from accredited certified registered vendors nationwide, while loading and offloading permit fee per trip is also required to qualify for the services. In case of any emergency, quickly use the special short code 7744 indicated on the rescue sticker to access immediate services of the Compliance Monitoring and Enforcement Group established in each of the local government councils, area councils, and LCDs. Zenith Bank, UBA, First Bank, and SunTrust Bank are approved and official bankers of the NAMTAX project.
Hey there, what's on your bucket list? Would you like to travel the world, live your best life? What if I told you you could blow right this minute and do everything on that list Airtel is saying thank you to all loyal customers. You stand a chance to win up to 100 million naira with guaranteed cash tokens in the Airtel Recharge and Blow promo. How awesome is that? All you have to do is recharge to win. For more information, dial *444*4# to enter for the draw. Everyone's a winner, so hurry now. The more you recharge, the more you win.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Did you hear the super exciting news?
What have you heard?
GoTV's going super.
Are you serious?
Bringing new channels with super awesome novellas, super duper kid shows,
All right.
and super slamming WWE 24/7. All at the super cool price of 5,500 naira.
Good.
Get GoTV's brand new package. GoTV Super.
The Super Eagles of Nigeria will look to stay in pole position in Group C when they take on the Lone Stars of Liberia. Can the Lone Stars of Liberia cause major shockwaves in the African World Cup qualifiers? It's Liberia versus Nigeria on the 13th of November in the African FIFA World Cup qualifier, showing on the network service of the NTA and Wazobia TV from 4:30 p.m. with live radio broadcasts on Cool FM, Wazobia FM and Nigeria Info. You can also join us online at sporty.com and NPFL TV. The FIFA World Cup qualifiers are proudly brought to you by Bet Niger and supported by MTN, Coca-Cola and Dettol, proud sponsors of the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
You're welcome back. The National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Mongono, says the wave of mass surrender of Boko Haram terrorists in the northeast has prompted large-scale humanitarian activities to rehabilitate and reintegrate the returnees back into the society. Major General Mongono stated this while speaking on combating persistent and emergent threats to regional peace and security in Africa, pivotal role of Nigeria at the Nigeria International Partnership Forum in Paris. In a statement by the head Strategic Communications Office of the National Security Advisor, Zakari Usman, notes that over 15,000 insurgents have so far surrendered to the Nigerian troops in different locations in the northeast. And to further achieve sustainable peace in the face of insecurity in some parts of the country, the Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, is advocating more research on ways of managing post-insurgency. This was when he received top management of the University of Maiduguri, led by the institution's Vice Chancellor, Professor Aliu Shugaba, in his office. Olainka Ojo reports.
In 10 years, Borno State has been faced with different forms of insecurity with triple effects on the education sector. But throughout this period, the University of Maiduguri was never shut down. This was made possible with the support of security operatives and the NTA, who continued to showcase the institution as a center of excellence in positive light, both in character and learning, through some of its programs. And it is to further strengthen the relationship as well as appreciate the NTA for its fairness and objectivity in its reportage of the school that the university management is visiting the NTA.
Thank you for encouraging us and always reporting about us, projecting us in an image that made us to be considered a hero.
Director General NTA, Malam Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, who assured the people that NTA will continue to advance the cause of government, particularly during this post-insurgency period, pledged continued support to the University of Maiduguri.
What do we need to do to make sure that we never fall back, to that period of darkness in the history of Nigeria? This requires a lot of research, and we will continue, to partner with the university, in managing the post-insurgency, period.
The University of Maiduguri is among the second-generation universities in Nigeria, established by the federal government in 1975. Olainka Ojo, NTA News.
And in another development, body of a missing journalist with the Vanguard newspaper, Harry Turjo Salem, has been found at the Wise General Hospital morgue in Abuja. Francis Fong reports that the police force disclosed this while parading a commercial driver suspected to be responsible for the death of the journalist.
The deceased journalist was last seen on the 13th October 2021. Investigation by the police revealed that his friend reportedly dropped him at a gas station along Shehu Shagari Way, and from that moment, he was never seen again. When the case was reported to the force, operatives of the intelligence response team swung into action, and this 29-year-old suspect, a commercial driver, confessed to have hit the deceased journalist at about 10 p.m. on the 13th of October.
Someone was crossing, the first person crossed, the second one ran into me, knocked out the person. I moved on. The reason why I didn't stop in that place, they have attacked me there before.
His phone, an iPhone 6, that have already been smashed into pieces, was trailed and found in a garage somewhere in Mpape. We want to again advise citizens to be wary of people who come calling whenever they are in challenging situations.
The force advised drivers to report every incident involving a hit on innocent road users to the nearest police station. Franks is from NTA News.
The Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate, PTAD, has paid more than 7 billion naira as pension gratuities in the last 2 years. Executive Secretary of the Directorate, Chioma Ejekeme, stated this during a two-day stakeholders forum and the launch of I Am Alive confirmation platform for pensioners from the Northwest Geopolitical Zone held in Kano. Howard Salisu has details.
The online application I Am Alive is designed to enable pensioners under the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate easily confirm they are alive from the comfort of their homes or neighborhood using either smartphone or a computer. The exercise, which is aimed at ensuring accuracy and convenience, is designed to take pensioners through a three-step process that ends with a text message.
We're looking at how to use technology to make it easy for them. So this particular solution enables the pensioner to confirm his aliveness in the comfort of his home.
50,000 pensioners from the 6 geopolitical zones are selected to participate in the pilot phase. On the successful implementation of this phase, the Directorate will deploy the application on a full scale at predetermined intervals on continuous basis for all verified pensioners on the payroll of the Directorate. 76-year-old Yakubu Abdesalam, a retired Deputy Commissioner of Police, described the innovation as one of the best things that PTAD has done to ease their sufferings.
You don't have to travel again long distances before you do that. You can do it from your bedroom. We are grateful to them.
You can use your child phone. You can even go to cafe and do it. All you need is you carry your phone, your verification number and your account number.
Yakubu and his likes, however, urged the Directorate to speed up and capture all pensioners under its payroll to bring an end to the era of field verification exercise. In Kano, Awal Salisu, NTA News.
The recent collapse of a 21-story building in Lagos has opened up discussions among professionals in the building industry concerned with the development. The Nigerian Institute of Quantity Surveyors is focusing its biennial conference on climate change and global disasters. Osi Anyabe was at a media briefing heralding the event.
The institute is concerned with sustainable infrastructure amidst declining economic resources. It is of the view that climate change poses huge threat to mankind, as Global Status reports that buildings and construction jointly account for 36% of global energy use and 39% of energy-related carbon dioxide emissions.
Outflow, fallout of the challenges of climate change. So we are doing a lot of good to Nigerians if we bring those issues to the front banner and let the politicians listen to what we are talking.
On the collapse of the 21-story building in Lagos and others across the country, the institute said they've raised the need for enhanced supervision by all professionals in the building industry.
What we said are for general applications. Let professionals be involved or engage on projects and let them be allowed to really carry out their functions.
A professional only offers advice. He cannot force his advice on either the promoter or the developer.
biennial conference, which will examine critical areas of development, will kick off on the 17th of this month in Abuja. Austin Anyebe, NTA News.
Reports just reaching us says as the global conversation on transition to cleaner energy continues, the federal government says it will keep its climate change commitments and at the same time focus on how to do that in a way that works best for the needs of the Nigerian people. State House correspondent Jide Onifadi reports.
Yemi Osinbajo has been advocating a just transition to global net zero emissions, particularly calling on multilateral agencies and Western countries to stop the planned defunding of fossil fuels and gas projects in developing countries as part of the energy transition plan towards the global net zero target by 2050. Again, it was one of the major points emphasized by the Vice President when he received this delegation from the World Bank, led by its Managing Director of Developing Policy and Partnerships, Mari Pangesto, as well as its Country Director for Nigeria. Vice President Osinbajo noted that Nigeria remains committed in helping to reduce global greenhouse emissions, even as the needs of Nigeria and other developing countries should also be taken into account.
And the Vice President restated the point that in Nigeria, as in other developing countries, there are issues of the climate change, there are challenges of climate change, but there are also challenges of energy access. So as Nigeria, like other development countries are dealing with the issue of climate change, we are also dealing with the very critical issue of energy access. And she agreed that the international community will actually have to take that kind of dual strategy to deal with the issue.
Also today, the Vice President interacted with officials of the International Monetary Fund on the IMF Article 4 bilateral consultations. During the interaction with IMF, which was virtual, the Vice President restated Nigeria's position on climate change, adding, however, that no developed economy grew its industrial base on renewable energy alone, and so developing economies should not be asked to do that. In the State House, Jide Onifadi.
For more on NTA Network News, let's join Adiola in our Lagos studio for more. Hello, Adiola.
Hello, Jumai. Efforts to harness the chemical and material industry so it can deliver more gains and employment to Nigerians has intensified with the inauguration of the Interministerial Committee for the Nigeria Chemical and Material Industry Action Program. The Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Bunaya Onu, described the move as crucial to the presidential mandate of lifting 100 million people out of poverty. Michael Olaleye reports.
The chemical and material industry contributes an estimated $5.7 trillion to the world gross domestic product, apart from supporting more than 120 million jobs along the value chain. This is according to a 2019 report by the International Council of Chemical Associations. Nigeria is a major importer of chemicals, but there is a gold mine of $120 million in agrochemical feed alone that must be explored. The minister sees the inauguration of the committee as a bold step in formulating a policy document that will provide strategic oversight to the exploration, distribution, management, and regulation of chemicals in the country.
This will help create enormous opportunities for us, considering the fact that a thriving and sustainable chemical and material industry is vital to our future.
When the policy document is concluded, everybody is a winner, especially as it will guarantee high quality of products for use in both the country and for exports. The pharmaceutical and health sectors are not exempted.
We've been interested in how these chemicals are distributed around the country because of this critical role in security.
We are moving slowly and gradually to accepting that science, technology, and innovation can only provide and fill the gap that we want.
We want to establish chemical tank farms
different zones of the country, streamlining them into chemical stations.
The committee is expected to finalize its documentation on time, as a deadline of 3 months has been set aside for the delivery of the National Policy on Chemical Technology in Nigeria. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NTA News.
The federal government will continue to support the National Directorate of Employment (NDE) in the creation of mass job opportunities through innovative methods for unskilled and unemployed youths. Minister of State, Labor and Employment Festus Keyamo said this at the special day of the Directorate at the Lagos International Trade Fair. Abolade Salami reports.
Kulaji's Sunday graduated from the university years ago. Jump hunting without success, he became frustrated and dejected. One of the social intervention schemes of the federal government, coordinated by the National Directorate of Employment, restored Sunday's hope and confidence. Today, he is a trainer and an employer of labor.
By now, we proved the combustion system that enable us to cook. So what I really want to say is that ND has actually improved me. And for the fact that I'm capable to train people, I've trained more than 200 people, youths, both on solar system and on this system as well.
With the full implementation of the first phase of the extended special public works, targeted at the poorest of the poor, and creation of more jobs, the country's unemployment index is expected to drop.
I don't think there's any government in the history of Nigeria that has pumped a lot of money into social intervention schemes as much as the Buhari administration. It shows that Mr. President, that's his own idea of governance. Those who have other ideas, they should come and see how it goes.
Challenges created by the coronavirus pandemic on global economies, which includes job losses, have not weakened the National Directorate of Employment's program for training and retraining in vocational, agricultural, and entrepreneurial skills, as well as public works.
Public organizations like NDE must constantly provide interventions that could provide both long and short-term solutions to unemployment.
We expect the government to continue with the ongoing reforms driven to achieve industrialization, to boost non-oil exports, attract foreign direct investment.
As a government that is committed to transforming lives and empowering people positively, initiatives to sustain human capital development remains a priority. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
We're done from Lagos, but we'll take a break and the news will continue thereafter with Jumai in Abuja. Just stay with us.
At home disconnects me, but that's a thing of the past. Today I found the great solution. With Connect, I can get internet from space. It's super fast satellite internet from Connect. It's great. I can get internet everywhere. It's super simple and super fast. It's Connect. Broadband up to 100 megabits per second. All this from 6,900 naira per month. Isn't it great? Go to connect.com.
Hello, madam. Would you like to join us on this mission?
Yes, but how?
Just one question for you. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I have been using it for years.
Oh, madam. The regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes.
To disinfect your toilet properly, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains remover. Harpic sticker formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning compared to regular detergent and bleach.
Wow!
How to make a perfect bowl of love? A perfect blend of taste that brings every ingredient to life. The fusion of different spices. The unique aroma that rejuvenates your senses. The heartwarming deliciousness. And the satisfaction that comes from every bite, which makes you say, I love my Indomie.
Not all washing powders are the same. Sunlight adds bursts of freshness to cleaning power to give you Sunlight 2-in-1 for sensational cleaning and freshness that lasts. Sunlight 2-in-1, sensational cleaning with burst after burst of freshness. Introducing Sunlight with luxurious oud fragrance.
Me and you, let's get to Ghana.
Hey!
headline jollof. This is Ghana. You've come here to seek for greener pastures. Make it your worthwhile.
Any guinea fowl is a guinea. Guinea fowl has nothing to do with guinea. It's just the name of the fowl. So Ghana jollof, what is it Nigerian beans?
What?
Have you made before?
No.
Jasper! Help me!
The Super Eagles of Nigeria will look to stay in pole position in Group C when they take on the Lone Stars of Liberia. Can the Lone Stars of Liberia cause major shockwaves in the African World Cup qualifiers? It's Liberia versus Nigeria on the 13th of November in the African FIFA World Cup qualifier, showing on the network service of the NTA and Wazobia TV from 4:30 p.m. with live radio broadcasts on Cool FM, Wazobia FM and Nigeria Info. You can also join us online at sporty.com and NPFL TV. The FIFA World Cup qualifiers are proudly brought to you by Bet Niger and supported by MTN, Coca-Cola and Dettol, proud sponsors of the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Thanks for joining us. The Executive Chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, Mohammed Nami, has been elected by the 47 member countries of the Commonwealth Association of Tax Administrators, CATA, as its 15th president for a 3-year tenure today. In a virtual conference of the forum, Nami thanked all members of CATA for the confidence they have reposed in him by electing Nigeria as president, noting that it is a call to duty. The newly elected president of CATA says he will bring his decades of experience in taxation and administration, both in public and private sectors, to bear. Mohammed Nami, who is the former chairman of the African Tax Administration Forum, stated that due to the effects of the COVID-19, taxation has become the mainstay for economies the world over in providing the required revenue to fund governance. Regardless of these challenges, Mohammed Nami promised that as president of Qatar, he will mobilize the member countries and other tax bodies to build capacity of tax administrators to tackle the challenges they face. The Commonwealth Association of Tax Administration has 23 founding member countries and has grown to 46 countries today, making it one of the world's largest bodies of tax administrators. With the current call on climate action in particular as a major global challenge of the Industrial Revolution, change is certain of the industrial age, with new ideas emerging to address human needs. Such ideas pushed innovations for people to produce faster using knowledge-based economy, as captured in 3 publications by retired diplomat Ambassador Kate Ibodike. Usman Aliu reports.
3 books at a time by one author, all giving new perspectives for good life with good thinking in this modern age.
You had a brilliant career. It's an excellent profession, and I congratulate all of you for your service to our country.
This book will not just help us that are here, but will help the entire nation of this country.
Ambassador Kate is concerned that the present world is not the same with the past. At the moment, she believes globalization substitutes many barriers and gives people opportunities better than those times of the Industrial Revolution that favored Europe, United Kingdom, and America.
If you want to be a partaker of this era, it's no more time people used to eat from the ground. That is all those oil. Now you eat from your brain. That is knowledge economy.
When you tell your story as a retired diplomat, you are making an investment for the future of Nigerian diplomacy.
Diplomats here are expecting that those ideas on entrepreneurship will be held tight for the better. Usman Aliu, NTA News.
Sadia is standing by in our Sakato Network Center with reports from that axis. Sadia.
Sultan Muhammad Saad Abubakar has commended Kano State government for according due respect to the Kano traditional institutions. Sheikh Muhammad Deti reports that the Sultan made the commendation while receiving the Emir of Gaya, Aliyu Ibrahim Gaya, on courtesy visit at his palace.
The Emir and his entourage were at the palace to pay homage, congratulate the Sultan on the 15 years anniversary, and affirm their loyalty to the Sultanate. The Mayor of Gaya solicited for the Sultan's words of wisdom and prayers in steering the affairs of his emirate. The monarch extolled the good leadership style of the Sultan, which he said is worthy of emulation. Sultan Muhammad Saad Abubakar appreciated the visit and prayed for God's protection and guidance in the discharge of his duties. He called on the entire Gaya Emirate councillors to remain loyal and offer meaningful advice to the Emir. He said the Sultanate Council is home for all traditional institutions, praying for a stronger relationship. Meanwhile, the Sultan has also received on courtesy visit the Emir of Funakai in Gombe State, Muazu Muhammadu Kweranga III. Like his brother from Gaya, the Funakai Emir was at the palace to pay homage, seek for fatherly advice, and affirm his loyalty to the Sultan. And heir to the throne of Buba Yaru family, the Emir succeeded the throne June this year. He gave a brief on the relationship between his ancestors and the founding fathers of the Sokoto Caliphate. Sultan Muhammad Saad pledged to strengthen the ties between them. He appreciated the visit and affirmation of loyalty, praying for God's guidance at all times. In Sokoto, Shehu Muhammad Datti, NTA News.
The federal government has been called upon to provide more security personnel and logistics in Sokoto and Zamfara states towards ending banditry. Member representing Sabon Birni's South constituency at the Sokoto State House of Assembly, Saidu Nairo Ibrahim Delege, made the appeal while briefing newsmen on the activities of bandits in Sabon Birni local government area of Sokoto State. Shehu Muhammad Detti completes the report.
The legislature affirmed recent complaints by people of Gatawa, Gangara, and Burkusuma villages on the levies enforced on them by bandits in the area before they can harvest their crops.
The situation is nothing but imposing levies, you understand, on the communities, in our various communities. So far, they have collected more than 37 million naira, which is a levy, you understand, from Gatawa district. And more than 57 or 55 villages, you understand, they have paid their levy. And later, the community was asked to choose the leader among the 5 bandits leaders that was sent by from their commandant, who is Tuji.
Ibrahim Neno commended the effort of Sokoto State government for providing motorcycles to members of the vigilante to assist them in complementing efforts of security personnel in fighting bandits. He appealed to the federal government to provide more security personnel and logistics to fast-track the fight against banditry in Zamfara and Sokoto State, especially in the local governments that share borders in the 2 states.
Operation Daji will handle that. By the time they locate their camps, we know all their camps, and the operation will take care of that.
Delegate called for more working relationship between the traditional leaders towards bringing an end to the security challenges. Banditry and cattle rustling in the eastern part of Sokoto State have continued to be a source of worry to the people of the area. In Sokoto, Shehu Muhammad Datti, NTA News.
From here, NTA Network News will continue with Jummai in Abuja right after this break.
Did you hear the super exciting news?
What have you heard?
GoTV's going super.
Are you serious?
Bringing new channels with super awesome novellas, super duper kid shows,
all right,
and super slamming WWE 24/7. All at the super cool price of 5,500 Naira.
Good.
Get GoTV's brand new package. GoTV Super.
The Super Eagles of Nigeria will look to stay in pole position in Group C when they take on the Lone Stars of Liberia. Can the Lone Stars of Liberia cause major shockwaves in the African World Cup qualifiers? It's Liberia versus Nigeria on the 13th of November in the African FIFA World Cup qualifier, showing on the network service of the NTA and Wazobia TV from 4:30 p.m. with live radio broadcasts on Cool FM, Wazobia FM, and Nigeria Info. You can also join us online at sporty.com and NPFL TV. The FIFA World Cup qualifiers are proudly brought to you by BetNiger and supported by MTN, Coca-Cola, and Dettol, proud sponsors of the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Welcome back. Edo State government has unveiled a 30-year development plan to provide necessary guidelines to drive development Governor Godwin Obaseki at the launch of the Edo in 2050 Strategic Plan and 5th edition of the ongoing Alaudaro Summit, which coincides with the celebration of Edo at 30, says the dream of making Edo a center for economic transformation has become a reality. Elizabeth Omoko reports.
The Alaudaro Summit has become a yearly milestone. Not only does it mark the anniversary, but it also provides an opportunity to reflect and assess policy options in order to identify sustainable directions and programs.
The choices that we make over the next 3 years and the pace at which we implement those choices will determine whether we stay constrained by the economic position of our sovereign.
Important learning here, which Edo State could benefit from, is perseverance, resilience, and relentless pursuit of the vision.
Giving account of his achievements in the last 5 years, Governor Obaseki says he has laid the foundation for the new Edo, hence is launching the 30-year defined template that will enunciate the development path and consequently address poverty, infrastructure, and other socio-economic challenges in the states.
The next 5 years should be one that ushers in a whole era of new opportunities, an era where we'll be able to raise substantial amounts of money from the international capital markets to build a river port which will give us access to the rest of the world, to support something unique that no one else has in Africa, which is a cultural district based on a history, a culture that the world cherishes.
I will give all the legislative backing to this 30-year development plan.
The 30-year development plan of 5 years with 6 periods span 8 electoral cycles. In Benin, Elizabeth Omako, NTA News.
And from the world of sports, basketball stakeholders this Friday converged in Abuja to demonstrate their love for the game and work towards its development in the country. Omoyawe Unubo completes the report.
Yes, the Power Forward Basketball Initiative has given hope to many Africans who want to make a career in basketball and possibly earn a scholarship in the Africa Collegiate Sports System. On this particular day, a basketball court was inaugurated alongside Basketball Schools Championship. Indeed, it was equally a day to celebrate Power Forward Youth Initiative, which has been growing the sport and impacting life positively on the country's youth since it was launched in 2013. The program uses basketball to educate, mentoring section for schools, and responsibility to students in 30 secondary schools in Abuja.
We use that opportunity to teach respect for one another, leadership, and other life skill endeavors.
Number of young people, over 60,000, have previously benefited the program.
They are doing a lot, and we are very appreciative of that.
In the first match in the new sports facilities in GSS Gwarimpa, Government Secondary School Carol thrashed Greatly International Academy Jai with 15-5 points to win the 2021 edition. And in the boys category, Total Child Modern School Dusi defeated Government Secondary School with 17-14 points.
Yeah, I want to really give a big shout out to Power Forward, NBA, ExxonMobil, and Africa.
The Power Forward Youth Program Initiative in its 8th year had former basketball player from Congo DR, Keita Motugulu, participating as mentor to these young ones. In Abuja, Omoyemi Onubo.
All is set for the 15th showdown between Super Eagles and Lone Star of Liberia in the Qatar 2022 World Cup qualifiers. Cynthia Ogun has a preview.
Super Eagles remain confident that their Liberian counterparts will leave the stadium in tears as they continue to boast of their preparedness. This confidence can easily be drawn from the results of their previous matches against Liberia, having won 9 out of their 14 encounters.
The first time the Eagles met Nigeria in a World Cup qualifier was in 1984, where they won 3-0 in Lagos and 1-0 in Monrovia. Liberia's only win within their time was when they stunned Nigeria 2-1 in the 2002 World Cup qualifiers, which the Eagles later avenged 2-0 in Port Harcourt. Although the Super Eagles beat Liberia 2-0 in September to kickstart their 2021 World Cup qualifying campaign, stakes are higher for the Saturday's encounter.
We won the first leg here in Nigeria and Lagos. So, but they play some kind of good football. We got the goals. So at the same time, we're not. They shouldn't go in underrating them because football is after 90 minutes.
I'm always ready when I'm called upon, and to give my all for my country is one of the most important things in my career.
The Nigeria-Liberia clash in March Day 5 of the World Cup qualifiers will be live on the NTA Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Cynthia Ogun, NTA News.
To the Super Eagles, and thanks so much for watching Network News tonight. I am Jumbo Yusuf.